In other news, it's World Environment Day. This year's theme is Beat Plastic Pollution. The aim is to focus on raising global awareness for a variety of critical environmental issues. Well, joining us from Pretoria this morning is Environmental Minister Dr. Edna Molewa. Dr. Molewa, good morning. Thank you very much, Minister, for joining us this morning on Morning News Today. The theme about beating plastic pollution, some people would argue that it's come at the right time. What's your overriding sense about the decision to focus on plastic pollution this year?
It is indeed very important a decision that has been made by the United Nations this year to sensitize our people around littering, particularly on plastic pollution. It is indeed a problem. Just let me say that a year or two ago, when our scientists came back from Antarctica, from Prince Edward Islands, which is Marian Islands as well, our islands, they reported that they actually found plastics, pieces of it, and microbeads as far as those areas. Now it is a big problem. All over throughout the world, we see this plastic being littered all over. And it's not a nice to have a campaign that we're doing right now. It is because our oceans are a source of life. The fact that, you know, when oceans become warmer, where they shouldn't be warming out, right there at the ice area, the ice melts and so forth, climate change impacts. All these things that are happening and the impacts that are happening in the ocean, it affects life on Earth, on the globe itself, on the surface area. So we should, and even the life in the waters themselves, the aquatic mammals that live there gets affected. So we all need to take heed of this very important campaign that says, let's not litter. We have found plastics all over in many parts of our world, in the oceans and deep in the oceans as well. So all of us must actually react to this. It's not just plastic as carrier bags, but it's different forms of plastic. Straws, those we know actually kill mammals. And we're revising our policy as South Africa because, you know, we have had to take care of our possibility and potential to create jobs in the past during the times of Minister Vali Musa, and said there should be continuation of manufacturing of plastic as carrier bags, and we're focusing on carrier bags at the time, but there should be a certain thickness that can be reusable. Time went on, people got used to buying that and spending on it, it's fine, they're throwing it back again. So we're revising all those, but this time we're including all kinds of plastics, including microbeads that are found in some of the detergents, some of the chemicals that we use for our faces and so forth. They are a danger to the mammals and to our oceans.
Now,
so,
Minister,
yes, we are part of that campaign. Yes.
Yeah. So I said, Minister, yeah, we understand that overriding sense. Yes, we understand that overriding sense you have, and I mean the numbers are shocking. And you've touched on one thing there, which is about littering. Some people will say looking after the environment and beating any form of pollution. In this case, we're focusing on plastics. Is also a question of behavior. What would you, your government, your department rather, be doing to change that behavior? I mean, because we only recycle about 21% of plastics that we buy. Meanwhile, we consume billions and billions of plastic. Yes. What else can we do?
Let me start by saying that we are focusing on plastic because at the world level, even here in South Africa, we choose a particular area of focus every year. Not that other areas are left out, just to highlight that. But as a department, we as South Africa, actually, not as a department, working with industry and everybody else, we have several programs that are in place. First thing is that we actually did this study, conducted this study that told us that only 21% of plastics are being recycled in South Africa. So we've increased the momentum through a program called RESP, that's a Recycling Enterprise in South Africa. That's the program that we're actually offering some support, that's a support program, to the emerging enterprises. That's not the only one. In DTI, working with Department of Trade and Industry and its sister agencies that are under DTI, we are also supporting through industrialist program some of those people who get into recycling. So RESP has got 194 million rand allocated for the small, medium and micro enterprises to actually begin moving into the space of increasing momentum in recycling. We are also working on material recovery programs, expanding our infrastructure of constructing the buyback centers where people can actually pick up plastic in whatever form, bottles and so forth, and take this material to the recovery center, where the recovery center takes it to the recyclers. Already there are recyclers in the country, but we want to increase those recyclers in the carton space where there's actually in plastic inside and plastic bottles and the carriers themselves. There should be increasing momentum through the support that we're giving as DTI and department, but also other departments like COCTA working with us to actually sensitize. And you spoke about awareness. It's important that we do behavioral change, that every one of us must know that you don't litter, not even plastic only, but anything that is dead. Let's keep our South Africa clean. We are sensitizing all during this June month, but we will be launching a practical program under this theme and the presidential program, Tuma Mina, send me to do work around litter, and that would be Tuma Mina, the green good deeds for a clean and better South Africa. That's how we'll be coining it. Wait for that moment. It will be in a few weeks. When we get a date from the president, we will be launching a K program with a recycling facility and company that already exists in the Ekurhuleni area, just to showcase and encourage all other people to move into the space, because it's not just a nice to have again. You create jobs when you are there, you clean environment, you fight poverty through this one program. It's a real all-catching kind of program. So litter is money.
Okay, Minister, now you've mentioned litter, you mentioned behavior, you've mentioned awareness efforts, and of course the focus, and you're going to be launching a Keep South Africa Clean campaign under the Tuma Mina campaign by President Ramaphosa. I was just wondering, the source of plastic, I mean, we know that it's a product that does not really biodegrade. Nowadays, there's been moves by various industries to produce biodegradable products so that when we throw them away and stuff like that, they don't harm the environment as much as they could have. Are you thinking, as in South Africa, just focus on our country, are you thinking of engaging, or are you already engaging the plastic industry itself to see if they can produce a little bit better type, I don't know, improved with technology and innovation, plastic or plastic type material that can become more biodegradable? Are you doing that?
Let's put it this way. The plastic industry has only come on board as far back as during the time of Minister Vali Musa. That's where the program around plastic as a waste stream started. And they are currently contributing a levy. But that levy was to pay for the recycling initiatives that were there at the time. And they're still continuing, by the way, some of them. As I say, we need to scale them up. They're not enough. It's only 21% of recycling that's happening. Yes, we are engaging them and continue to engage them. It's not as if I'm illustrating that it's not the first time that they would be on board. But with regards to new technologies, we are urging them to continue to think differently of production of biodegradable plastics, as you say right now, because this one that's here right now, these kinds of plastics here, are biodegradable. They're really not, just pieces of them get torn out a little bit, and they stay if they are in the soil, they stay forever. If they are in the water, they stay forever and ever. So there is a need to think about some alternatives, and which is why South Africa did not move to immediately ban plastic. Many people say we are criticized in saying maybe you need to ban this plastic. We think that we need to work with the plastic industry to come up with new technologies, because we also need those jobs in that space. We can, as a country, reduce and completely eradicate plastics that actually lie all over, that are messing up our environment if we want to, but still have plastic used many a times with different technologies applied to have those biodegradable plastics issues issue sorted out.
Thank you very
once
much,
and for all.
Minister.
So we are saying we can do all these things together.
Thank you very much, Minister. We wish you well with your campaign. We'll be watching out for the new Keep South Africa Clean campaign under Tumamina. That's Environmental Affairs Minister Dr. Edna Molewa. Sports will be coming up after the break with Wada.